Hello and welcome back to another video. In this one we will be talking about how CD Projekt Red is changing from the inside. I think there's a lot of things they're talked about, but I don't think they're doing much for the action part. How about we get into this? Okay, so it's a bit weird actually. CD Projekt Red has actually released a video containing information about the likes of what they're doing with the development process, and this could be very boring for the average user. So if you're not really into the facts statistics of about game development or anything like that, please click off this video. This isn't for you. But if you're interested about how games developed, how they're going to improve on themselves, how the PR is going to work, how basically most parts of development is going to really change for CD Projekt Red, and even some cool announcements actually, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, this is the video for you. We've got a lot to really react, and this is more reaction than anything else, because I'm going to show you the whole video, and I'm really going to react to the information that's really being told to us. Now, I've heard online, I've did a little bit of research just to really know what I'm really getting myself into, if this is even really a waste of time to even make a video on. This is actually an important update for CD Projekt Red, especially as I've talked to a couple of people online, and I'm kind of gathering this is a complete tonal shift from inside the company than anything else. We are looking at the new Project Red now, and that could be scary for a lot of people, but we'll see. Let's see how much they've actually will change over the coming years and what they're actually promising now. That's the big difference. So how about we get into this? So here we are, we've got CD Projekt Red Group Strategy Update. And I'm not even going to start pronouncing that. Ever since my last Star Wars video, I've just not been having a great day about pronouncing stuff. But yeah, it is 24 minutes long, so it's going to be a longer video than what I would usually do. But how about we actually get into this?
Hello and
I don't.
welcome to CD
Hello.
Projekt Group Strategy Update.
Hello.
I'm Adam Kiciński and I'm the President and Joint CEO here at CD Projekt.
Good to know.
Today I'll be talking about the changes we are in the process of making, the changes
Ooh, so they're expanding, building out, and transforming stuff. I should probably just
we
stop
plan
and
to make going forward and
yeah.
our plan for growth in the coming years.
This is a lot of
Normally,
talk.
For a meeting like this, we would be all together in a big room and I'll be talking to you all in person. Unfortunately, with the things as they are with the pandemic,
Yeah.
a video presentation is the best, safest thing we can do.
Oh, well on.
Still, I hope all of you are staying safe and healthy, and hopefully
Yeah, we're all staying healthy and healthy.
soon.
I hope you are as well.
Okay, let's get started. First, I would like to introduce our team of presenters. Today, besides me,
Yay,
you will
more
be also
presenters.
hearing from Michał Nowakowski, Paweł Zawodny, and Piotr Nielubowicz.
Yeah, I'm never going to pronounce their
The
names
CD Projekt
correctly.
Group is made up of three distinct major businesses. Together, the group produces and delivers world-class gaming content across a number of mediums. First, we have our core development studio.
I'm going to say this right now. I do like its top. As much as I like to complain about, I haven't actually. I put 3 hours into Cyberpunk before going. This is way too broken for me, and I'm kind of waiting for this, for it to actually be properly fixed before actually tuning into the game. Sorry. But yeah, I like the design of Cyberpunk, but this is more importantly how are they going to actually do this? How are they gonna they're gonna talk about a lot of shit, obviously, but more importantly, how are they actually going to make this shit real? How are they going to make this a better production line?
A nearly 1,000 person strong company which focuses on developing AAA RPGs.
I'm sorry?
Nearly 1,000
1,000 people? Bloody hell.
person strong company which focuses on developing AAA RPGs. Our sister company, GOG.com, acts as our digital distribution platform. Since 2008, it's grown to around 200 staff members. Through GOG.com,
Now, this is important for many people out there. Many people out there don't just always say, especially when we talk about Xbox acquisitions and all that other stuff, they always talk about CD Projekt Red being brought out by Microsoft or even another company like, I don't know, Sony or anything like that. They're not going to do that. To buy CD Projekt Red, you genuinely would have to be looking at the likes of a 20 times bigger, like, which we're talking roughly 12 billion, based on the fact that they've got GOG, they've got the games development, they've got countless support studios, and all that other stuff. And GOG is doing really well at the moment. Hell, even I've got GOG downloaded.
.com itself and GOG Galaxy, it offers a library of over 4,000
I haven't installed
games
this.
from
I should
600
probably do that at
publishers
some
and
point.
developers, which gamers can purchase from anywhere in the
It
world.
looks sick as hell.
The most recent addition to the group is our mobile development team, Spoko, who are currently developing The Witcher Monster Slayer, an AR mobile game set in the Witcher universe. As the group has grown,
Unlike many people out there, I have actually got no problem with when people decide to go into mobile games. I personally think it's an undeveloped field that has lots of potential if done right. Now, what I've seen from CD Projekt Red's first mobile game, I think it's literally a copy and paste of what Pokemon Go tried to set out to be. And I'm not really optimistic that they're really trying their best about this sort of stuff, but we'll see.
over the years, we've built a wide set of core strengths that pretty much sum up who we are as a company. Arguably,
I do
the one
agree.
we've been most recognized for is our storytelling ability, as demonstrated throughout the Witcher series of games and most recently in Cyberpunk 2077.
I
Through
do
our
completely agree
work
with that.
Across the Witcher franchise in particular, we've built a global
It
reputation.
looks phenomenal,
Now,
acts
the Bright
phenomenal.
Path is an established studio, recognized all over the world. This is a position that we take great pride in holding. Part of that reputation also comes from our relationship with our audience, with our consistent
Interesting you say that, right? Even though you've had the worst PR with Cyberpunk 2077 since I've known the company since the first Witcher. It's intriguing you say that. You've got great PR and everything like that. You've got great things. There's a lot of shit you did with Cyberpunk that we are not forgetting. And hell, even for the development process, you've done crunch to people to hell and back. That is nothing to be proud of.
focus on community, we have open and direct communication with gamers. This is part of the reason we have such committed fans, who hold us to very high standards. And of course, as we've grown and built this reputation, we have also accumulated enough financial resources to make our development goals possible.
Here at CD Projekt, we've always had a clear mission with clear goals and clear core values that guide us to achieve them.
I'm making a clear statement here. Emphasis on clear. Please don't make it any more clearer.
These have stayed consistent over the years, which has helped us grow in the way we have. We have three key goals in our mission.
Mission: to create revolutionary story-driven RPGs which go straight to the hearts of gamers from around the world. To be counted among the world's top 3 video game developers. To ensure a lasting place for our brands in the global popular culture. Let's see if they even attempted to do one of them. To create revolutionary story-driven RPGs, go straight to the hearts of gamers from around the world. You've done one game so far. Not even that for me. I prefer Dragon Age, mate. So step up your game, step up your storytelling, step up your gameplay. Then we might have a discussion. To be counted among the world's top 3 video game developers. Now that's ambiguous. I'm having a stroke. That's just not straightforward. That could be said for anything. What, top 3 earners, top 3 most beloved? We don't know. To ensure a lasting place for our brands in the global popular culture. Now that's where they've actually might have done something successful. Witcher has gone down as globally popular. Cyberpunk will be remembered for years for how bad it did. It will be remembered for years because it was broken. It will be an example to be set for not to do what you did. Yeah, you certainly did a lasting place for your brands. It's not for the better, I think.
First, to create revolutionary, story-driven RPGs, which go straight to the hearts of gamers from around the world. Second, to be counted among the world's top 3 video game developers. And the third, to ensure a lasting place for our brands in a global culture. Our values are what guides us. Each one of these pushes us towards our mission and helps make CD Projekt special. Each value is part of our identity. We pride ourselves on quality and we understand.
I'm sorry. How could they take it this seriously? I'm not joking. Quality is our top priority. What the fuck was Cyberpunk then? Oh, fuck it. Out the window it goes. I ate a bit too much to drink tonight. We're releasing it then. The fuck was that? Passionate team as our greatest strength. Yeah, sure, you got passion. But when you crush that passion with so much crunch, when it destroys a person's well-being, nah, fuck that shit. Tolerance, fairness, and openness at heart. Alright, yeah, you possibly got that. You're not Blizzard. Independence, sure, you also got that. Gamer-centric approach. Don't believe that bullshit whatsoever. Don't believe it. Especially after you tricked us into believing that you had a half-working game. The PC version works alright. PS4, Xbox One, those versions were dog shit. Even Stadia was awful. The fuck?
The importance of having such a talented and passionate team. We encourage and stand for tolerance, fairness, and openness. Our independence gives us valuable creative freedom, and we
I guess you're right.
keep gamers at the center of our work.
Bullshit.
All of these values are long-term and essential to us. And above all, we strive for quality. Recently, we discussed how the launch of Cyberpunk 2077 did not meet our quality standards.
No. Really?
Today, we'll discuss the steps we are taking to meet these high standards and deliver on our goals. First and foremost, we want to do right by gamers to ensure we stick to all our values in the future. With that in mind, we have created a strategic development framework. This is how we plan to improve and streamline our operations going forward. This includes our approach to game development,
Intriguing.
as well as our strategies to widen the reach of our franchises. As you can see, there are 3 building blocks in the structure.
Whoa. Alright, okay. There's a lot of stuff to really look at this and just digest. Bloody hell. Expand, build out, and transform. So, what they meant by that, by expanding, is online experiences enriching our IPs, gaming communities built around GOG Galaxy. Okay! That I didn't see coming. So they're building more... online games. So we know we're getting the Cyberpunk online experience. We could get the Witcher online experience. We're gonna have these small... So we could even have like these smaller game... online game development. So like Gwent or something. So these smaller things that fit around the brand that they're known for. Franchise value creation through core gaming extensions, e.g. mobile, and partnerships, e.g. TV series and merchandise. So not only are we going to get online experiences, we've also got mobile games that we know of, and we've also got TV series potentially. So yes, I could see this coming, because we do know that we've got the mobile game for The Witcher, we've got the mobile Witcher series, TV series, and we've even got Cyberpunk, which has an anime series. We knew this was this, but they could be updating to everything where we could see more series from these particular brands. Parallel a AAA development by growing production throughput throughout. I think it means. Intriguing. Maybe they explain a bit
We'll be
more.
going through each of them, and we are going
Yeah,
to start
I'd
with
really like to
Red
know
2.0,
Red
which is
2.0.
how we plan to
Ooh.
transform our approach to AAA game
Now you have me
development
intrigued.
and communication.
Okay.
The foundation of our strategy is to shift and adapt our focus to enable parallel AAA game development. We plan to achieve this by growing our production capabilities
Okay.
and implementing a range of new ideas
Okay,
to make
okay,
our work
okay.
more efficient and seamless. We want to improve the way we make games, and Red 2.0
That does make sense,
is
yep.
our starting point. We have already brought an initial changes as a part of this initiative, but let's look what exactly goes into this transformation. Within our Red 2.0 transformation framework, we also want to continuously
Further developing a sustainable and caring work environment, redefining and empowering the CTO role, rolling out agile ways of working, centralized Red Engine to serve 2 franchises, makes sense, developing a team of cross-project experts, changing our approach to external communications, and scaling up our talent pool. Oh god, this is going to take a long time. Further development of a sustainable and caring work environment. So I'm guessing it means less crunch and less genuine hatred towards development. They don't want to push. They keep saying this. This is what pisses me off, right? They keep saying, "Oh, we won't do it. We won't actually crunch our people." No, they did it again for 3 games in a row. Witcher 3, and Cyberpunk. So actually, please, if you're actually going to do it, put in effects. Don't just tell me you're going to, it's fine. We won't crunch our employees for 2 years. 2 fucking years. It's way too long. It's not right. Developers need better, they need something so they don't fall down in tears.
improve the working environment for every team member. We
But I
want a
damn hope
sharper
so.
focus on how we work together to allow us to make great games. One part of this is redefining and empowering the CTO role by giving more control, influence, and responsibility to this position.
Intriguing. I'm not. I don't know much about the CTO position, roles, or anything like that. I'm pretty sure that means we could see that. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what CTO
This
actually
will
means.
help usher in a more agile way of working. We want to introduce faster iteration, clearer communication, and more seamless contact between teams.
So I could see them improving a couple of things. So rolling out agile ways of working, so we could see the likes of in development house, like we've got the likes from in development studios actually working on this, and everyone turning back to work for that way. And agile ways of working also could see, because of the pandemic, because of all this sort of stuff, we could see the likes of online meetings becoming the norm. We could see people working from home a lot more. And I can actually see this becoming a really great thing. I genuinely can, especially for developers.
This will be achieved by introducing cross-functional teams as well as a team of cross-project experts. Our new CTO, Pavel, will provide you with a more details shortly.
Right, intriguingly, I can also see them centralizing Red Engine. So that means basically allows them to have 2 separate versions of the game, of 2 separate versions of the engine, and just creating a wall in between them. So you've got the likes of one team is working on The Witcher, and one team is working on Cyberpunk, basically. Now, intriguingly, I could see them doing this quite successfully, especially as the likes we could see not just on two franchises, but we could see multiple teams working on different things. So, for example, we've already split them into two things. So we've got the likes of Witcher and Cyberpunk, but within those two things, we can see we can split them off into Cyberpunk, which is the main games, the mobile projects, perhaps even the animes and everything like that. We could see them like a spider's web almost. I could see that actually happening, and even seeing like smaller games out there. So they got online experiences and all that other stuff. Yeah, I could see that happening. Deploying a team of cross-project experts. Now this I'm actually excited for, because a lot of studios out there, even big publishers such as EA, will literally choose favourites about which projects needs more development time, which needs more caring, and everything like that. So the likes of that, EA will mainly force developers to use the Frostbite engine, and we've seen in the past that BioWare has been lacking the support because the EA will put all their resources into caring for FIFA, into Madden, because they make the most money. So if they do this correctly, CD Projekt Red could actually be seeing interesting ways of actually evolving the engine and everything like that, and even creating cool little stuff that will help us in the future. And external communication that just means better PR, basically. And yeah, we could see that happening.
In general, these changes are all designed to make agile
And of course, increasing the
parallel
talent pool,
development
so it just means more
our
developers.
natural state. Additionally, we'll be changing how we communicate and market our games externally, taking lessons from past marketing campaigns. We will also widen our recruitment strategy to grow our studio. All of these pieces of the puzzle will provide us with three important advantages. They'll make our development process more streamlined, they'll secure the quality of our future projects, and they will enable us to take on parallel AAA game development without compromise or bottlenecks.
Here is a little more insight into how our team and technical changes factor into our plan.
I'm intrigued about
From
this.
the technical side, we already have a great foundation with our Red Engine, a world-class technology that powers our RPG.
World-class technology. That's a bit of a lie there, right there.
But to ensure that we can serve two franchises simultaneously, we are centralizing our Red Engine technology. We want to make our development approach be more proactive and future-proof, so our engine needs to be adaptable in this way. With a centralized engine, we can prepare certain functionalities that can be used in both of our franchises. Technology powering NPC routines or player character control, for example, can be adapted in multiple games at once. It's a change that brings control for.
So, from what I can tell, what they're trying to say is they're going to put the evolution of any particular game into. So, if we could see if we see like better NPCs from. When I say better NPCs from Cyberpunk, I do mean like the evolution of all of it. So we can see that coming into The Witcher. Character controls will be coming into from The Witcher to Cyberpunk, and every other development that they think, oh, that's a cool technology, we'll implement it into into our other franchise. And it just means that these particular people at the top, so the development engineers and all these cool technologies that they could create for a particular game, can go into the other franchise, basically. I can see this actually working out pretty well.
For example, can be adapted in multiple games at once. It's a change that brings a lot of consistency.
Yep,
Moving
I
to
do
our
agree.
team structures.
Oh.
We are planning to build cross-functional teams to work on both IPs. These teams will blend disciplines and expertise, so we have closer communication and skill sharing going on from the beginning. Cross-functional teams allow different aspects of development to run in tandem without complication.
Okay,
It's a much more agile approach to game development.
see.
These teams will also bring a shift back to the development roots of CD Projekt Red. These setups gives the individual developer greater visibility and context for their work. It drives home the sense of personal ownership, but also opens up more opportunities for iteration by bringing in different perspectives.
Right, what they're trying to say here is that many different things we see from the likes of game development, I think actually, as much as I hate to say this, Microsoft brought Obsidian and all these other studios. Now, they've got many different teams within said studios working on different games. So, for example, Obsidian is working on the Outer Worlds, was working on the Outer Worlds DLC, was working on the likes of Grounded and everything like that, but they don't share that technology with with one another. They keep the teams separate so that they don't contaminate one another. Now, intriguingly, if we have a particular technology that would be great in that world, such as like survival mechanics, in being implemented from Grounded to Avowed, that would be quite a cool technology that wouldn't take them as long to implement or even just design, really. But with this technology, this is what they're trying to say, is like we could see not faster development, but more streamlined development. And we don't see that very much in the modern era.
Agility is central to these teams, and they will also have the ability to call upon cross-project experts too. These experts will be able to provide functional support across multiple IPs at the same time,
Self-explanatory.
bringing another valuable, adaptable aspect to this collaborative approach. With all this in mind, if we achieve everything we set out to do in our Red 2.0 transformation plan, we can begin parallel AAA game development starting 2022.
We mentioned external communications previously.
It's really they say that, so this hasn't been implemented just yet, but they are taking steps towards it for the year 2022. So this Red 2.0 isn't actually being even... This has just been talked about, but not being even started until next year. Alright.
And we want to highlight our thought process here. We have learned many things from our marketing.
PR is a disaster at CD Projekt Red.
And see
So
things
yeah.
that need to change in the future, and this is how we will do that. Going forward, our campaigns will be much shorter. We'll wait until much closer to our game's launch before we start showing.
Oh, okay. Marketing and PR campaigns will start closer to the actual launch. Alright, I like it.
Things like trailers.
So we got the likes of Bethesda.
In depth about mechanics.
It's very much like Bethesda.
Of course, that doesn't mean small teasers for new projects will stop. If it makes sense, we will still tease future projects at an early stage with the actual campaign.
That's what this is literally what Bethesda's
And when
doing.
campaigns do start, we aim to properly manage expectations across all platforms. This means
Better.
focusing on communication on polished game footage.
Excellent,
not concepts.
excellent,
We'll also
excellent.
showcase footage of our games on all platforms they will be released on. We
Yep.
have also thought about long-term communication. In the past, we have mapped out huge 5-year plans for the company, but we need to be more agile.
Yes, you
That's
do.
why
2-year
we are shifting
plans.
to annual roadmaps, which focus on
Annual?
a single year at a time. Here's
All
our
right.
roadmap for 2021.
Oh damn! They released this is the roadmap for 2021. All right, I didn't even expect that they'd even do this. So, oh bloody hell, this is quite the roadmap. So of course we've got 2 development teams working on 2 different things. So of course for Cyberpunk, most importantly, we've got patches and updates. Woo! And for the people out there, they did actually release the if I remember correctly, it's a 40 gigabyte update fixing a lot of stuff in Cyberpunk 2077. So I'm looking. So I know they're definitely working on those patches and updates. So we get DLCs, free DLCs. Intriguingly, what I don't think many people will possibly noticed, they've added a 1. So does that mean we'll get like multiple years of free DLCs? Plus we've got expansions, everything like that coming up, but I don't think this is going to happen this year. And of course we've got the next gen update, and I'll probably come back to Cyberpunk when that next gen update actually comes out. Now on to The Witcher. We've got The Witcher Monster Slayer, which is that mobile game they talked about previously. The Witcher 3 next gen update, which I will come back and just really test some stuff out. I don't really play much. I enjoyed The Witcher 3, but meh. And further development of Gwent. Alright. I don't play much of those sort of style games, but if people are interested in it, people are interested.
Focusing on our plans related to Cyberpunk 2077
I am looking forward.
and The Witcher.
Hold on, I just saw this right at the bottom. One DLC, small additional content. So if you didn't know, they did the same thing for Witcher. It just means like small quests or something, or even cosmetics.
As you can see, for Cyberpunk 2077, we are focused on improving the game with updates and patches. That's our top priority right now.
Yep,
We also have free DLC.
that's
in
good.
pipeline.
That's very good.
Once the game is at the standard we are aiming for, we'll focus on releasing the next-gen update. For The Witcher, we have Spoko's free-to-play mobile AR game, The Witcher Monster Slayer.
Yep.
Right now, a test version of
As
the
I
game
said.
is available on iOS and Android in select.
I might try it
territories,
out,
and
see
it's
how it
moving
is.
closer to a full
I'm
release.
all
We
for
expect this
developers to
happen
actually
in
try it.
2021. We also
If they do it
have
right.
the next-gen update for The Witcher Free Wild Hunt coming in the second half of 2021.
Yeah.
Before
We're in
we
April
look
at the moment,
our
to be
second
fair.
backlog, I want to spend some time on our plans to bring greater focus on team well-being within CD Projekt. You cannot be an agile developer without a sustainable and caring work environment. We are working
This
hard to
needs to be
minimize
done
stress,
well, because I
prevent
don't
burnout,
want to
and
see
give
an
our
article from the
employees
Bloomberg
all
by
they need
Jason
to focus
Schreier
on their work
saying
with
how much of a
full
shit show
commitment.
your studio actually is still.
First comes improved focus on employee comfort. CD Projekt has always been an inclusive and diverse workplace. That will continue to be the case, and we'll want to ensure every employee feels comfortable. That includes continuing to encourage a strong team spirit at the studio and introducing more initiatives to provide support for matters such as mental health. Personal well-being is key. We have already put in place a series of workshops.
Intriguing. I like the actions they're talking about, but to actually do what they're going to do, they need to really prove it to me. I'm not going to lie to you. I want them to succeed in creating a better environment for developers. Maybe, hell, I'd even join them one day if they did. But at the moment, it's just not... I don't believe their company is even worth risking my mental health over. So we'll see.
Dedicated to educating, supporting, and advising employees about mental health and personal care. We have always encouraged an open workplace, and we value a barrier-free atmosphere. We have open door policies where team members can talk frankly with board members, directors, or leads.
That's cool.
But there is more we
But
can
I
do.
don't think many people
We are
would be just too scared to talk to a board
strengthening
member.
bilateral communication at
I
every
would
level.
be. I'm
We are
terrified to talk to
creating
management
a
as
team
is.
of representatives elected by the whole studio. This team is chosen from across many disciplines within the company to share new ideas,
That's cool.
feedback, and topics of discussion with the board. They will gather information directly from the team and then work directly with the board to ensure all voices are heard and improvements can be made wherever necessary. Lastly, our workplace should always be a place of empowerment.
Yeah, I do
The
agree.
project is ambitious.
Everyone's
We work on
ideas
huge
should be...
innovative projects,
Yeah.
and that gives
That
a
this
lot
should
of
be
space
part
for
of every
professional
workplace, but
development.
apparently it's not.
But we also
Trust me,
encourage
I've been in
personal
many.
development through regular workshops.
You should be
and
empowered
training
to create
help
stuff.
Members find and grow their own strengths.
I am a little bit worried that they are literally just
Nurturing the
filming
team is
people, just
hugely
eating
important.
and drinking.
We also understand that
I'm a little
we
bit worried
will
about that.
fully exit parallel
Bit weird CD
development
Projekt Red.
to widen our talent pool. We are doing this in three main ways. First, we are bolstering our recruitment processes to grow organically
Yep.
and find
This is pretty
skilled
much standard
individuals
stuff you're
who
going to
will
see
bring
online.
Something special.
Yeah, well done.
Second,
This is
we are
pretty much
focusing
everything.
more on building strong partnerships with proven
Now
ourselves.
that
Third,
I can
in
see that
M&A
happen.
to grow the studio, especially going to be
So lock in partnerships with proven vendors. So we could see the likes of having partnerships with continue the partnership with Microsoft. I can see them doing that, and maybe even having outside help or something. Maybe especially if their good commitment with the online gaming scenarios actually occurs. Pursue inorganic growth in opportunities. I have no idea
more
what the,
active in M&A
I have no idea.
to grow the studio, especially in tech areas.
Speaking of mergers and acquisitions, we have already been active
No fucking way. They're going to announce that they've just bought someone. I did not see Team Project Red buying someone. Bruh.
looking for opportunities in this area, and we are happy to announce that we have just agreed terms of investment with Digital Escapes in Vancouver. We began a partnership with the studio back in 2018, and they have supported us with their
Oh, so this is possibly the likes of a studio which is just a backbone of what they're called. They're the particular type of sub studios which is it just helps with development really. That's all it really is. They just help with development. Nothing really else.
deep technical expertise. They are a
But
trusted
it makes
partner
sense.
that we know very well, and their immensely skilled team is exactly the kind of thing we need to improve our technology and deepen
And
the
now they've
skills
got a
that
team
we
over in
have to build
Vancouver,
on.
which I like.
Should more fantastic opportunities like this present themselves in the future, we will certainly be interested. Okay, now back to our 3 building blocks. Everything we have just gone through is the most extensive block, the transform stage. Now we'll look at the second one, building out our franchises.
All
Don't worry,
right.
this one will be much shorter. This block is all about extending beyond our core AAA games and
Yep.
taking advantage of the
As
wider
I said,
potential of both
we've
The
explained
Witcher
it. I've
and
explained this in the past.
just to reiterate, single-player RPGs will always be our core. However,
I
as you
get
can
that.
see here,
Look. Oh
we
hello.
have been diverse.
Oh hello. They've just announced a new game. Did they announce a new game? Or am I going mad? I may be going mad because I think The Witcher Enhanced Edition is just... It is something else, isn't it? Alright, maybe they released that game.
Define our games with each iteration. Starting with our most traditional RPG, The Witcher 1, we then moved to include more action-oriented features in the rest of the Witcher trilogy. Wild Hunt went open world, but still retain a strong focus on role-playing and storytelling. With Cyberpunk 2077,
Intrigued.
we took this progression a step further by adding in stronger shooting mechanics and moving to first person. But yet again, it retained a deep RPG core with our most ambitious approach to both gameplay and storytelling yet. This is how we have been extending the reach of our RPGs with each core release. But we want to extend our franchises further. Rather than solely focusing on
It makes
single game releases,
sense.
we also want to bring more content for gamers to enjoy outside of video games. Thanks to the popularity of our RPGs and how recognizable our franchises are, we have
Oh, so... Hold on, wait.
quite a
Hold on, there we go. So this is what they're looking at right now. So we've got the single player game, both being relatively done. Next gen is being completed at this very moment. Expansions are done for The Witcher, of course. We've done the... Wait, there's an online experience for The Witcher? Is there? Who knew? And they, of course, they've just completed the mobile experience. Now they are in development of next gen version expansions and the online experiences, and they are in talks for creating a mobile game for the Cyberpunk. I'll be intrigued to see what that actually is.
a few avenues to explore with both The Witcher and Cyberpunk. We want to build these brands and widen our audience for both. That means alongside core gaming focused developments, we are also extending the possibilities for
Excluding merchandise, okay, because they sell a hell of a lot of merchandise for a smaller game development company. But yeah, so we've got the anime, live action, and books. Books isn't owned by them, and the anime isn't owned by them because everything is based on the original book itself. But they take in a small amount of money coming from all these games.
additional media content. We have some examples of this already. With The Witcher, we have expanded to include a mobile-focused game with Spokos Monster
Yeah,
Slayer, but
we
we
know
also
this.
have increased other merchandise opportunities too. Toys, comic books, apparel, gadgets, a board game, all that within the Witcher franchise.
Personally, I don't want to
We
buy.
announced last year that we are
that sort of
developing anime
merchandise.
with Netflix and Studio Trigger called Cyberpunk Edgerunners. And that's just one example. We are using our core RPG to make something different for another medium, which will grow our base audience and maximize the impact of this franchise.
Yep,
And
spot
this
on.
is just the start. We aim to deliver more, taking our characters and worlds across new media and bringing them to new audiences. Not only do we believe in the concept of strategically building a franchise, we actually
Flywheel
have
effect.
evidence
What?
of this being successful.
Never heard of this
Let's look at
technique.
the progression of the Witcher franchise.
I've been in
using the flywheel.
development for a couple of years now.
The Witcher 1 is where the wheel started spinning. It was a successful beginning for the
Oh,
franchise.
hello.
It was our first AAA RPG.
Develop. So this is what they think of themselves. So this is how they started out basically. The Witcher. They started developing world-class AAA RPGs. I'd argue that The Witcher 1 and maybe even The Witcher 2 isn't world-class RPGs, but hey. And then they're going to provide the players with the memorable experiences. So they talk about with the Witcher saga. Expanded to broader entertainment, and they've definitely done that, but I don't think that's really by them exactly. That's mainly for the books and everything like that, but maybe that's just me. And create and release incremental gaming content. So that means like smaller games and the likes of AA and everything like that. Yeah, because
which brought players memorable experiences that gave the Witcher games foothold. This allowed us to slowly but surely expand, and as the wheel keeps spinning, we come to the sequel, The Witcher 2. With 2 games and a growing reputation, more opportunities arise and we are able to branch out more, reaching a wider audience.
alright.
Then, The Witcher 3 comes around. On launch and long after, players have been attached to
50
this
million
game. And
units.
this is where the Witcher franchise truly becomes a global
Exploded, yeah.
success.
It genuinely
And
exploded.
as the flywheel spins, momentum continues to grow. and we
Jesus
widen
Christ,
our
that's
audience
hypnotizing
using the
wheel.
success of both this
I'm just
game
watching the arrows
and
go
games that
round and round and
now we have
round.
a recognized franchise with more merchandise, opportunities, partnerships, and also additional developments inspired by the core.
What do you want me to
The
buy?
flywheel effect
CD
has
Pro.
proven
Oh,
to
it's
be
gone.
successful for us with the Witcher franchise. Each game builds upon
I've
the
just been
previous one.
hypnotized.
And as the audience grows, you can see the financial benefits it brings. As the flywheel continuously spins, it creates a growing network that
Damn!
maximizes the potential of the franchise. With Cyberpunk 2077, we are taking the same approach. Using a proven concept with a new franchise is the best way to build its reputation and appeal.
This guy just seems
That
like he's looking at
means
my soul.
Focusing on the core game itself and bringing
Oh, I don't know. We've got another wheel. Before I get hypnotized and buy some merch for Cyberpunk or something. So this is what they plan to do. So they say develop world class AAA RPGs. They haven't done that yet, but they are doing updates and free DLCs. They are doing the next gen release and other stuff. Expansions are in the process, and additional online elements could be seen in 2022. They have sold 30 million games 30 million copies already. They've expanded into merchandise and TV. They haven't expanded. I don't think they expanded into music just yet. And then they are going to release a AA content for the likes of Cyberpunk. So we could see a card game, maybe perhaps for the Cyberpunk.
more memorable experiences for gamers. The wheel has already started to spin with Cyberpunk 2077, and we are able to branch out into different spaces. That's something we have already put into motion with a vast array of partnerships, and we are keenly aware of the potential of the franchise even at this stage. Building out our franchises like this is a
It's
key
difficult, yeah.
strategy for the group. It complements our core RPGs using their potential in new ways to further embed our brand franchises into global popular culture. There will be much more of this to come in the future.
And now
We'll
move
see.
on to the third and final building block of our development framework, expanding online
Oh,
capabilities.
yay.
We aim to make online technologies an important part of our future.
We'll see. I need to
and
see
use
how well they're going to do
Unreal
with
Galaxy
this. They need to
grow
do well. They
global
don't
communities
need to
for
fuck
gamers.
over their players.
Let's stress this here. CD Projekt Red makes single-player, story-driven AAA RPGs. That is not changing. What is changing is our long-term approach to online. And by
Yeah,
this,
I
we
do
mean
believe there's
ensuring
a way
we
of
are
creating
properly
amazing
prepared
experiences in the
to implement
online
online
world,
elements
especially
in
as
our
to
games
creating
where they make
stories.
sense.
Apex
We don't
Legends
want to
has
go
shown
overboard
this.
or lose our single-player DNA. We want to take thoughtful steps to build robust online capabilities.
Yep.
Previously, we hinted that our next AAA would be a multiplayer Cyberpunk game, but we have decided to reconsider this plan. Given our new, more systematic and agile approach, instead of primarily focusing on one big online experience or game, we are focusing on bringing online into all of our franchises one day. We are building online
That
technology
I can
that
see. I don't know.
seamlessly
We need to
integrate
give them a
into
chance and
development
really see what they're going to do with it.
Technology will
But
power
I am
online
worried,
content
especially as
we
it's
choose
been
to
known in the past that a lot of
introduce in our
developers will take the
games,
piss
we
and
ensure we can do so
create
without
some
any
greedy
breakage
aspects of
knowledge.
it.
With this technology in place, we can start to grow an online
And
community
hopefully it's not
powered by our own GOG
too
Galaxy platform, which
microtransaction
connects gamers
filled,
both inside and
but it
outside of our
is
games.
using
Long-term
GOG
iteration means
technology.
Constantly learning
We'll see.
and improving as we go. Our technical knowledge will expand. Our expertise will become stronger.
Of course,
and
as all
online
good
elements
companies
will become a
should do
logical,
is they evolve a long
coherent
time.
part of our business.
That covers the 3 building blocks of our strategic framework. Transformation of the studio,
So I think this is literally. Oh, hold on, there's a little bit more right at the end.
ourselves and within the industry. What we've outlined
Hold on,
today
wait.
is our way of planning ahead for the next stage.
It just means they're changing everything
we
about.
will continue to develop AAA
There we go.
RPGs that blend genres while maintaining a deep RPG core. Just put in place, we look to move towards a more edges. Will also grow outside of our bread and
hello.
butter game releases.
So here we go. This is what this whole thing. What this whole thing is about is how they're changing from the old model, which, let's be honest, didn't make them as much money as they hoped it would because they failed of doing everything correctly. So from creating these AAA huge RPGs, yes, they still have that. But it's genre-bending AAA RPGs. It just means that you're going to get games that are better than just normal RPGs. Let's be honest, it just means that you're going to get RPGs still. That's just me. You're still getting the RPGs, okay? You're going to have single player and online experiences. You're going to have parallel IP development, so we could see the likes of The Witcher and Cyberpunk being released much sooner than most people think, so we could see 2 years in between them. We've got a agile delivery, so it actually means delivery of information to the consumer, which is good. They released it at a better time instead of waterfalling it, so little drops coming in over the years. And then we've got AAA games, plus I personally believe it's a AA games mainly. So they have these expensive projects in development, but then they also have AA projects such as Gwent and all this other online multiplayer stuff. And hell, maybe they even develop a AA game, a single player game. We'll see.
More avenues are open to us than ever before. And
Yeah,
by
I totally
smartly
agree.
Leveraging the potential of our IPs, we can grow them greatly.
As they said, they can grow an exceptional amount. Now, I didn't want to go through the whole theme because already it's been about 50 minutes long, this video, and it's going to be hella interesting to even see if it does well, because it is, let's be honest, unless you're a huge fan of development, really, you're not going to really enjoy this type of video. This is... let's call it how it is. It can be quite boring looking at how development actually works for game design, but I'm seriously into it, and I hope you all are out. This is for me a really interesting video about how they produce games, how they're going to do businesses in the future, and everything like that. But I just want to know your thoughts and opinions about what we've watched, what you've got out of it, and everything like that. So thank you so much for watching. In fact, thank you so much for watching. It has been a long ass video. It's been 50 minutes now, and I really should stop stalking. So thank you so much for watching. Click the like button if you enjoyed the video. Click the subscribe button if you enjoy the content I create. And thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.